Hello! In this video, I'm going to show you how you can set up the MDLCode extension for Visual Studio Code Editor to run behat tests in different environments using Moodle Docker and display the quick links above each scenario. In my example, I have two different sets of containers. One has PHP 8.1 Postgres and Firefox, and another one has PHP 8.2, MariaDB, and Chrome. As you can see, I can run the same test in each environment. So let's start from the beginning. First, you need to clone the Moodle Docker repository from Moodle HQ. Make sure you have Docker installed too. In your Moodle instance, you need to make some changes to the config.php file. The Quick Start section suggests to replace the config.php completely, but you probably don't want to do it. The alternative method is mentioned below in the same README file. You can just copy the Docker config file next to your config.php and include it conditionally. Remember that you have to do it for each Moodle instance where you want to run tests in Docker. By default, MDLCode adds a link above each scenario and tries to run it locally. And I do not have it set up, so it throws an error. In VSCode, open the settings of the MDLCode extension and find the Features section. Click Edit in Settings JSON. Copy the example from this tutorial and paste it in your settings. This section will replace the default command to run the behat scenario locally, and this section will add a new code lens next to it. You can add as many links as you want. Now let's look at the script we're executing here. First, we set the www root to the current Moodle instance. Then we run a special script that I'm about to show you, with the arguments 1 or 2 corresponding to the environment preset, and then pass the path to the feature inside the Docker container. The path starts with the var www.html because it is a Moodle root inside the Docker container. Do not change it. So now when I go back to the feature file, I can see two links above each test. Let's look at the script itself. Now I'm showing the initial version of the script in this video. It might change based on the feedback of other developers, but it won't change significantly. On my computer, I place the script in the user local bin folder so I can execute it without specifying the full path from any Moodle instance. Inside the script, you might need to set the path to your Moodle Docker bin directory. This section sets environment variables based on the preset that you passed. You can change it the way you like or add more options here. For each preset, we will spin a separate set of containers on a separate port, so you can test in different environments without restarting containers, like you saw in the example in the beginning of this video. Now, this section will check if the container is already running and if it is mounted to the same www root. If not, it will restart the container. This is handy when you execute it for the first time or when you change a Moodle instance. Currently, this script uses the JQ command that is not standard, and you might need to install it additionally. However, maybe by the time you watch this tutorial, somebody suggests an alternative without using it, and I will update the script. And finally, we run the behat tests. Technically, you do not need to call init.php every time, but if behat is already initialized, it will be very quick. If it's not initialized, you must run it, so it's better to have it. And this part means that we pass all arguments of this script starting from the second one to the behat run script. Remember that the first argument to the script was the preset number. If you want to adapt the script to run phpunit, it is very easy. Copy the commands to run phpunit tests from the Moodle Docker README file, and then replace the last 2 lines. Refer to the MDLCode documentation page about how you can change the commands for running an individual test or all tests in a file, one behat scenario, or the whole feature. Hope you found this tutorial useful and it will be easier for you now to run automated tests directly from your VSCode. MDLCode is an extension for Moodle development that has a free tier and premium tier. All functionality covered in this video is available in the free tier. I encourage you to check out other MDLCode tutorials. It has a lot of other features that you might find very useful in Moodle development. Thank you and bye-bye.